Hi, LinkedIn.
Hush's Driftbot of the Week. And this week we'll be covering how B2B companies can drive more attendees and registrants for their events. Specifically, how they can do that through email and the website. So I've selected Celigo just as a random company that runs events in the B2B space and obviously wants to drive more registrants and attendees. And what I'll be doing today is showing you how you can use a Driftbot to not only drive registrations and attendees, but to create sales conversations through the entire process leading up to the event. So let's show you how the bot works. We start with the event invite. This is an email that goes out through Drift, but it could also go out through Marketo or Eloqua. It doesn't really matter. The idea here is if I'm sending 5,000 emails out to my prospect and my customer base, this is a great opportunity to actually start conversations on the registration page. So let me show you how it works. If I click through to the registration page, I can go the traditional route and fill out the form and submit. I can do that. That's not a problem. But you'll notice now a Driftbot's popped up. It's thanking me and it's going to engage with me. So it's even dropped a video here with a bit of an introduction about the user group. And it's also asking me which particular topics I'd like to hear discussed. So in this particular case, I'm interested in the integration to NetSuite. So this is where the bot can drop a value proposition. So for example, talking about how Celigo connects 2,500 NetSuite companies. Then it also asks me what my job title is. And I'm going to put a developer. So the great thing about this is if you've sent 5,000 emails, there's a certain percentage of people that are going to jump straight on and they're going to land on this page and engage with the bot. And at any time here, you've got SDRs and sales reps that can jump in and chat live to the person. So as you can see, it's a great way to start conversations en masse, leveraging those big email sends. So now it's asked me to confirm that I know the address and what time it starts. Can I make it? Yes, I can make it. And so we're easing the registration process here. So my registration is complete. I don't need to fill in a form. I can click on one of these links and it would load a calendar reminder, which is great. But now the next step, it's asking me, would I like a reminder via SMS and the ability to pre-check in? So this is taking it to the next level. We're trying to capture a mobile phone, not only to make the customer experience better because pre-check-in allows you to jump the queue, but also to capture that phone number to make sure we confirm and we remind people, which will drive attendees. So let's type a number here. If I type a rubbish number, it will actually ask me that again. So you can put validation. That's a standard Drift behavior. Great. So it's got my phone number and we're looking forward to seeing here. So you can see the experience was much nicer. I didn't have to fill in a 7-field form. I can go through the bot, don't have to fill any of my details, but I can actually give them more information as to what I'm interested about, what I'd like to hear discussed. And off the back of what I'd like to hear discussed, this is a perfect way to route prospects, opportunities, and contacts to your SDRs live while you're engaged with Celigo and registering for one of their events. Great way to drive more registrations, but also start conversations that can then be picked up during the live event. Another fantastic way of driving more registrants to your event is by using LinkedIn. So this is a brand new feature of LinkedIn called LinkedIn Events. It's only just come out in Australia and rolling out in the US now, but it has been out in other countries for the last few months in beta. So we've been able to access it and use it for the last few months. It's really, really handy. You can create your events in LinkedIn and you can invite people to your events through LinkedIn, which is a fantastic way to cut through rather than using email. It also enables you to invite your BDR team, your sales reps, your SDRs, and get them to invite their own network. So it's a great way of leveraging the LinkedIn network to draw people to your event. So here's an example on my LinkedIn here. I've been invited to the Boston NetSuite from Celigo, and I'm going to accept this event. So once I accept this event, I can go look at the actual event invite. Now, this is a great way to invite people, but it doesn't necessarily manage the actual registration process, which is good because we want to drive them to our actual registration page. Now, there's two types of ways you can set up an event. It can be a private or a public. So you can see this one is a private event, which means I can be invited to it, but I can't invite my own guests. There's also a public event and another type of private where I can invite guests. So you can see now I've been set as attending, but I need to actually register, and I can go to the registration page on Celigo to actually go to that NetSuite page. So at this point in time, I hit the registration page. So just to give you a quick look back at that, this is LinkedIn events, and it's a great way to drive more registrants. It's also a great way to drive more attendees because it will remind you that the event is on coming up to the event. So it's a great way to remind people because if they're frequently on LinkedIn, they'll know that there's an event coming up. So the next part of this is how does Celigo drive more actual attendees? The ultimate goal is to get bums on seats. And so there's a few ways to do this. The first one is using a bot to remind people that the event's coming up. So let's fast forward till a week before the event, and you'll notice the bot's popped up here on the website. So I'm on Celigo website looking at something else, and the bot pops up reminding me that the user group is happening in 1 week. It's also going to confirm that I can still make it. So if I went from being able to make it to not, that's a great excuse for an SDR or a sales rep to reach out and start a conversation. And like any other Drift bot, at any point in time, an SDR and a salesperson is notified that the person's just been reminded and confirmed or said they couldn't come, so they can jump in and start a real conversation. Let's fast forward to a day before the event. So now as a registrant, I'm going to get this SMS, which is a reminder telling me that the event is tomorrow. But not only that, is I confirm my actual attendance. So if I say yes, that will be registered. If I say no, that will also be marked. And that means if I can't make it, it's a great excuse for SDRs or sales reps to reach out to me and actually start a conversation. Now that could be via email, via phone. It could be on SMS. That's another technology. But the idea here is we're driving registrants, but we're also trying to get registrants to actually attend the event and create conversations through the whole process, all the way from the initial event invite to the day before and the day of the event. So the last piece of this, which I'm not going to show you, is you could also provide pre-check-in. So send an SMS an hour before the event asking people, do they want to pre-check in? And then if they reply yes, they get a confirmation message so they can skip the line, show their phone, and go straight in. And so that's the last step of this particular experience. And just wanted to show you how a Drift bot can really help you as a B2B marketer drive more registrants and attendees to your events, but more importantly, generate more conversations and potential business off the back of those events. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below and I will answer them.